Level 1, the specialist. You're 22. You've spent 4 years in the 75th Ranger Regiment. You're fit. You're fast. You're bored. A man in civilian clothes approaches you after a training exercise. He hands you a card. No unit name, just a time and a room number. This is the start. You arrive at Fort Bragg. You find yourself in a room with 150 other men. They are all the best from where they came. Most will be gone by Friday. You begin the selection and assessment course. It's not a boot camp. Nobody screams at you. Nobody encourages you. The instructors just watch. They carry clipboards. They write in silence. You spend weeks in the mountains of West Virginia. You carry a 50-pound rucksack. You hike 18 miles a day, then 20, then 30. You are not told the distance. You are not told the time limit. You just walk. Your feet are raw meat inside your boots. You smell of dried sweat and pine needles. You're making $2,800 a month in base pay. It feels like pennies for this agony. The final test is the long walk. 40 miles. Land navigation. Alone. Your mind starts to hallucinate. You see people in the trees who aren't there. You finish. You wait in a chair for hours. A colonel looks at you. He nods once. You're in. You've just reached the starting line. Level 2, the sergeant. You're 23. You've survived selection, but you aren't an operator yet. You enter the OTC, the operator training course. 6 months of specialized hell. You spend 10 hours a day in the shoot house. The air is thick with the smell of burnt cordite and shredded plywood. You fire 1,000 rounds of .45 ACP every single day. Your hands develop thick calluses from the grip of your 1911. You learn to breach doors with explosives. You learn to pick locks. You learn to drive a civilian SUV at 80 miles per hour in reverse. You're learning the unit's way. Precision is the only metric. If your shot is 2 inches off center, you fail. You learn to blend in. You grow your hair long. You grow a beard. You wear flannel shirts and jeans. You look like a contractor, not a soldier. Your pay bumps to $3,100 a month. You get an extra $225 for jump pay, another $150 for demolition pay. You are a student of violence. You don't have a social life. You have a locker and a rifle. You are being rebuilt into a surgical instrument. At the end of the 6 months, you receive your tan beret and your assignment to a Sabre squadron. You are now officially an operator. Level 3, the staff sergeant. You're 26. You're a junior member of a 4-man assault team. This is the peak of your physical life. You're 190 pounds of lean muscle and scar tissue. You live in a state of permanent Tier 1 readiness. Your phone is never off. You're never more than 2 hours from the base. You deploy for the first time. It's a night hit in a desert city. You're wearing 60 pounds of gear. Your night vision goggles turn the world into a grainy green ghostland. You're the 3rd man in the stack. The door blows. The concussion hits your chest like a physical punch. You move. You don't think. You see a weapon, you fire 2 rounds. You see a child, you pivot away. The entire raid takes 90 seconds. You're back on the helicopter before the neighbors wake up. You earn $4,200 a month now. You get an extra $450 in special duty assignment pay. You're seeing the world through a 40-degree field of view. You start to lose friends. A name on a wall. A quiet funeral. You don't talk about it. You just check your kit and wait for the next green light. Level 4, the sergeant first class.
You're 30. You've been in the unit for 7 years. You're now an assistant team sergeant. You aren't just the muscle anymore. You're the brain. You specialize. Maybe you're the lead breacher. You know exactly how much C4 is needed to take down a reinforced steel door without killing the hostages inside. Or you're the medic. You can perform field surgery under fire while blood slicks your gloves. Your base pay is $5,100. With all your pro pay and hazardous duty bonuses, you're clearing $85,000 a year. But your body is paying the tax. Your knees crunch when you walk. Your lower back is a constant dull throb from a decade of heavy plates. You've spent 250 days a year away from home for the last 5 years. Your wife is a stranger. Your kids call you by your first name. You're a master of clandestine communication and high-altitude jumping. You've jumped from 30,000 feet into pitch blackness more times than you can count. The adrenaline doesn't hit like it used to. It's just work now. Cold, calculated work. Level 5, the Master Sergeant. You're 35. You are the Team Sergeant. You lead the four-man cell. You are the bridge between the officer's plans and the operator's reality. When a mission goes wrong, it's your voice on the radio. You stay calm. You make the call to stay or go. You're responsible for 3 other lives: their gear, their training, their mental state. You earn $6,200 a month. You've seen the leadership styles of 10 different commanders. You know which ones to trust and which ones will get your men killed for a medal. You've survived 3 IED blasts and 2 gunshot wounds. Your hearing is fading. The high-pitched ring of tinnitus is your constant companion. You spend your days in the Tactical Operations Center, looking at drone feeds. You see the world in infrared. You've become a diplomat of sorts, negotiating with local warlords in broken Arabic or Dari. You carry a buy-away bag with $50,000 in cash. No questions. You realize you're no longer the fastest man in the stack. The younger staff sergeants are quicker. You're the one who makes sure they're pointing in the right direction. Level 6, the Sergeant Major. You're 40. You are a Squadron Sergeant Major. You've moved out of the 4-man team and into the leadership of a 100-man squadron. You are the senior enlisted advisor. You don't kick doors anymore. You stand in the back. You watch the monitors. You manage the massive logistics of a global Tier 1 footprint. You're making $8,500 a month. Your job is now politics and personnel. You decide who stays in the unit and who gets sent back to the regular army. You're the gatekeeper of the culture. You see the young guys coming in. They look like you did 20 years ago. Eager, invincible. You know better. You spend your nights writing letters to the families of the fallen. You know every name on the memorial at the headquarters. You've outlived most of your original OTC class. You feel like a ghost in a uniform. The burden isn't the weight of the rucksack anymore. It's the weight of the decisions. One wrong coordinate on a CAS strike, and you're looking at a civilian casualty count that ends careers and starts wars. Level 7, the Major.
You're 36. You took the officer route. You're a Squadron Operations Officer. While the Sergeants Major handle the men, you handle the mission. You sit in a room with generals. You translate their vague strategic goals into specific tactical orders. You have a master's degree from a top university and 10 years of combat experience. You earn $9,800 a month. You are the architect of the raid. You study blueprints of compounds in foreign cities for 18 hours a day. You coordinate with the CIA, the NSA, and the State Department. You live in a world of classified slides and encrypted emails. You are constantly under pressure to deliver results. The president wants a high-value target. The Pentagon wants a clean operation. You have to balance the two. You feel the isolation of command. You aren't one of the boys in the team room, but you aren't a general yet either. You're in the middle, the friction point. You've traded your rifle for a laptop, and the stakes have never been higher. Level 8, the Colonel. You're 48. You are the commander of the 1st Special Forces Operational Detachment Delta, the unit. You are the highest-ranking officer in the most elite organization on Earth. You answer to the Joint Special Operations Command. You earn $14,000 a month. You have 1,000 people under your command. You are responsible for a budget of hundreds of millions of dollars. You move through the halls of the Pentagon like a shadow. People know who you are, but nobody says your name out loud. You are the one who gives the final go for missions that will never appear in the news. You've spent 30 years in the dark. Your face is lined with the stress of 1,000 secrets. You look at the wall of photos in your office, the men you've lost, the missions that failed. You realize that your entire life has been a cycle of preparing for violence. You're nearing retirement. You'll get a pension, a house in the suburbs, and a job as a consultant for a defense contractor. But the noise never truly stops. The cycle continues. A bus pulls up to the dates of a dusty base. A 19-year-old steps off. He adjusts his back. He looks at the horizon. He has no idea what's coming. He just wants to be the best. He walks toward the gate. He begins his journey.